Hello everybody and welcome to Parks Bros. It's Drew here and thank you for joining the halfway point of Listmas 2020 with day 6 and my top 5 favorite water rides. Yeah, that's right, only a top 5 today because I didn't realize that I'd only been on a total of 11 attractions, that the main focus is to get you wet. So I figured instead of talking about every single water ride I've ridden almost, I would condense the list down to 5 instead of 10, and to hopefully not be editing this until 6 a.m. like the past couple of videos. Anyway, let's move on to my number 5. At number 5, we head to a park that I don't normally talk about, but this is Universal Studios Hollywood and their iteration of Jurassic World, the ride, which is a giant splash boat that takes you into Jurassic World and brings you face to face with the Indominus Rex and the T-Rex. Now, while this sits at my number 5 spot, I will say the original iteration, Jurassic Park, would probably be number 2, if not number 1 on this list. But Jurassic World to me, as a ride, at least when I rode it last, seems a little incomplete. But the parts that do seem complete really do look beautiful, especially those last couple of scenes. And man, I do love coming face to face with a Stegosaurus every once in a while. And in terms of getting wet, this ride is definitely going to do that successfully. Now let's move on to number 4, which is another makeover of an old attraction, and that is Calico River Rapids at Knott's Berry Farm, which takes you along the Calico outskirts, looking at brand new territory before you run into the dreaded skunk ape named Kevin. Now this ride to me has just a lot of character and a lot of heart behind it. With so many animatronics and just a playful atmosphere, I really fell in love with this ride when it was redone, especially compared to its past life as Bigfoot Rapids. But man, Calico River Rapids is definitely a ride you have to check out when you visit Knott's. Now moving to number 3, we're going to be heading on another raft ride, and this one is Grizzly River Run at California Adventure, and this is easily the most themed raft I have ever been on. Sure, it lacks the animatronics of Calico River Rapids, which I wish it did have a couple, but the overall surrounding of this area and ride is just beyond gorgeous. And this ride alone sets the scene for my favorite area of California Adventure, and I gotta thank it just for that. But beside that, this ride gets you super wet, has one of the tallest drops on a raft ride out there. Oh, and did I mention there's actually 2 drops? It's just an all-out wet adventure, and I highly recommend taking a ride on Grizzly River Run. Now we're getting to the classic log flume type of attraction, because I guess that's what I prefer the most, at least out of the ones chosen. At number 2, we have the classic 50-plus-year-old Timber Mountain log ride at Knott's Berry Farm, which really does hold a special place in my heart. Not only for personal connections, but just with its overall feel, amazing selection of animatronics, and its intertwined storylines. This ride set the precedent for many rides after it, being highly themed and family friendly. The Timber Mountain log ride is easily one of my favorite attractions of all time, and you can bet this is going to be one of the first rides I hit up whenever the parks reopen. Now we're heading to number 1, and if you heard me mention in number 2 that Timber Mountain log ride was an amazing inspiration for other rides of its type, well, this is your direct look at that. This is Splash Mountain at Disneyland. This ride takes you on a crazy journey along with Brer Rabbit as he tries to evade Brer Fox and Brer Bear as they try and trap him for a tasty meal. Now, controversial context aside, this ride really is beautiful and themed incredibly, and is easily one of my favorite rides of all time, without question. It's super fun, gets you incredibly wet, and brightens your mood when everything at Disneyland just isn't going your way. I love this ride, but I am super excited to see it change, with Tiana and Co. coming in to throw a little extra New Orleans to the first Magic Kingdom. But I will say, Splash Mountain, at the moment, is my favorite water ride. So there you have it, day 6, a little quicker this time around, but that's only because I made a little mistake in tallying. But I hope you're all super excited for day 7, and make sure to subscribe to see that, as well as the final half of Listmas coming out in the next couple of days. But I can't wait to show you tomorrow, which is another top 10 of my favorite type of rides, which is another rides list, and I promise this time it'll get to the number 10. But tomorrow is my top 10 favorite flat rides, and I hope you'll join then. But of course, until then, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we'll see you on the next ride.